Welcome to Own the Chaos. The stock market is crazy and chaotic.
And crash. You son of a... God. Hold on. Pause.
Brad and Fat Man Zoom are here to help you own it.
They were targeting Wall Street when they should have been targeting Capitol Hill. They should have been targeting DC. This is the same thing, and this is what people keep missing.
Taking it to the suits, being relatable and hilarious.
You bought GameStop at 400, didn't you? To the moon, baby, to the moon.
Get ready to own the chaos in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Own the Chaos. My name is Brad. The stock market is crazy and chaotic, and we made it our mission to help you guys own it. What another wild day today, given how everything opened up and then everything continued on towards half the day, and now things are back red. Oh, my God, what a day. But nevertheless, we're going to get into all that stuff. We also have earnings on the docket, some really interesting ones as well, guys. But before we do any of that, as you know, let's hit everybody up with the starting five. What's up, Eric Brands, Lindsay Heiss, Fernando Pereira, John Gosson, Ralph Vandenhoek. You guys are our starting five. If you missed the starting five, shout out. Make sure you hit that notification bell if you're not subscribed already. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. So then you might get shouted out if you show up early for the live stream. Speaking of which, welcome to Stock Market Live. My name is Brad, as I'd mentioned before, and it has been an absolutely wild 24 hours. I mean, we had the Dow that was down nearly 1,000 points. It was like, I don't know, like 900 points last night at one point, and then cut that in half, opened the day up down around 400 points, then pretty much went green. We saw NASDAQ go green, and the SPY went green, and right now everything's kind of tailing off. So we have the S&P 500 right now down 31.74 points. It's good for 0.75 of a point down. Dow's down around 300 points. The NASDAQ is down 22. We got oil that is just soaring right now. It's up 4.5% at 95.71 at WTI crude, and gold hitting some 52-week highs as well. So just an unbelievable day. Pretty wild stuff. Super volatile, right? And so what can we make of this? Like, what makes sense here? Why is this happening? And I think that there's a couple of things. Obviously, we have the situation in Russia and Ukraine, and there's a lot of what ifs. I think that there's certainly some situations in which you can be like, okay, I think I probably wouldn't want to be in cash in case shit hits the fan, and we really do start talking about nuclear warfare and that sort of thing. To me personally, now I'm no geopolitical expert, and I'll be the first one to tell you this, but to me personally, I think we're ways away from any kind of nuclear attack. Now, I'll admit that I'm a little bit surprised that we're even in this situation, that Putin actually decided to invade Ukraine. So if I was wrong about that, then who knows? Maybe I'm wrong about this. I hope that I'm right, though, and we don't have to deal with any of that, because if we do, then that's going to spell disaster in so many different ways, right? I mean, forget about your portfolio, just human life in general. However, this is a trading show, so we're going to talk, or an investing show, so we're going to talk about investing, and how it relates to that. So there's a lot of what ifs obviously there, and that's why there's a lot of uncertainty. But then we have the Fed meeting, the FOMC meeting coming up in a couple weeks. And so that is certainly weighing on everybody's mind. However, I think that the big reason why the markets moved today was by and large due to the Russia-Ukraine situation. And a lot of it has to do with sanctions and how it impacts the financial markets and how it impacts energy. And we're seeing that across the board. As I had mentioned, we saw 4.5% increase in WTI crude alone. We're seeing BP somehow get punished. Let's take a look at BP right now and see where it went. So here's the SPY I have up on the 5-minute chart. BP got, sold off a little bit. It's down now only 5%. It was down around 7% this morning on pulling out of their stake in a major Russian oil company. And then I believe it was Chevron did the same thing. But see, that stock, Chevron was not impacted at all, which is very interesting. But BP actually ended up had the pullback. I think there's probably an opportunity there for BP, but energy in general is still going to be something to be in. Here's an interesting thing. If you guys are curious about what I'm in energy related, it's Marathon Oil. That stock's up 3%. Finally up over that $22 at $22 resistance. We go to the daily chart, and it's been a battle here at $22 for Marathon, but it is firmly above that right now, sitting at 22.53. My hope is that it remains above that. But, as the supply continues to shrink and demand is still screaming right now, I think that, makes sense just to continue to hold on to this. I mentioned to you guys before any of this mess happened that I saw $100 oil regardless of any kind of geopolitical conflict. And this just only exacerbates that problem, in my opinion. And I think we'll hear from OPEC next week. So I think that could certainly continue to make an impact on the price of oil. The only thing that I would maybe bring this down is if they have some sort of deal with if the U.S. and really the EU has some sort of deal with Iran. But then you have Iran that's also kind of, I don't know, hanging out with Russia as well. I don't think that they're going to try to mess that relationship up. So who knows? Who knows what goes on with energy? The only thing that I have strong feelings about is the direction that it's going, and it's up, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Given everything else, look, there's obviously risk of the worst case scenario happening, but I think that until we get there, I don't think there's much to worry about. Famous last words, I know, but I think that would be crazy if something like that happened. So hopefully, fingers crossed, things go well and better than what they are right now. The one good thing that I'm super impressed about, I guess, and one of the key takeaways is that this is the most united I think I've seen anybody for some said cause, right? We have Europe, us, everybody seems like they're just on the other side of this, and Russia's kind of all by themselves. Even China to a certain extent, which is a bit shocking, was kind of like, yeah, bro, you probably shouldn't be doing this. But who knows? Like I said, at the end of the day, we just got to take the hands that's dealt to us and control what is, in our control and make the trades. So if you want to have some cash on the sidelines, I don't blame you. I'm still fully invested. I still feel really bullish about this. And we talked about it last week about it being in a situation in which, as crappy as it sounds, I talked about this last week about how we see a sell-off in a referenced FundStrat's charts. 5 of the last 5 conflicts that involved some sort of invasion yielded a buying into the invasion, where it sold. Well, the market sold off going into the invasion happened and the markets ripped. We saw that Thursday, Friday of last week. I think that today could be potentially more of a let's consolidate this a little bit after we saw a massive rip on Thursday. Stocks were down. I mean, the Qs were down 3%, they closed up 3%, and it ended up being another green day on Friday. So I think that, obviously everybody's digesting what's going on over the weekend. But to me, I think that this is a situation in which we see a little bit of consolidation and then we start to make the move higher. I know that it's really easy to be a bear in this environment, but I tell you what, guys, I'll be the contrarian. That's fine. Somehow the overs club became not cool, but that's okay. I'll stand alone in the overs club. That's fine with me. Yeah, I like this. Jeff says China's sitting back saying, hey, man, you probably shouldn't be doing this. But if this works, how are you doing, Taiwan? Yeah. Taiwan. Yeah. I think Taiwan's still there's still some danger there for sure. Just checking in with you guys. So we do have earnings today. Yeah, good point, Mike. Even the Swiss actually chose a side. They're no longer neutral. That's big stuff. So we do have some earnings today. We have all kinds of them, by the way. So if I don't mention your one that you might be watching, please feel free to throw it in the chat. We have Lucid reporting earnings. We also have Blink. We have Laser or Luminar Technologies. There's a ticker symbol LAZR. And then Zoom. So I want to start with Zoom real quick and get this one out of the way. Zoom's expected earnings per share is at $1.05. Expected expected revenues around 1.05 billion. Very interesting on Zoom. Let's take a look at the chart. It just recently hit 52-week lows, and this has just continued to come down really for the last year, it seems like. Let's look at the daily chart here, and you can kind of see it was at 588.84 all-time highs. October of 2020 has never even gotten close to those numbers again. It's continued to just sell off. Very interesting things I was reading from Barron's today about, more and more corporations moving towards teams. I definitely want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Let's take a look at the chart here. So you can see how this has just been selling off. It's been nothing but a downtrend for God knows how long. But Barron's was talking about how more and more corporations are moving towards teams. And this is a very interesting theory or thought. I want to hear from you guys on this. Are you, for those of you in this space that use video conferencing for your job, for your work, are you leaving Zoom and going towards Teams? Are more and more of you people seeing that, or no? Or do you still prefer Zoom? Because the general consensus of people that I've asked around me prefer Zoom over Teams, period. Like it's not even a question. But perhaps maybe it just makes it easier for integration into your business if you have Microsoft products and then Teams is just there. So why would you buy Zoom? I certainly get that. And I guess we'll hear from Zoom as far as active users are concerned. And that's going to be one of the key metrics there. So if we see a slowdown on Zoom, obviously it will not bode well. But the fact of the matter is that this is a tech company that still turns a profit. So that is definitely something that they have good going for them in an environment like this. If this was a tech stock that is still reported a loss and they came in and missed, I think they would get absolutely wrecked. Now, granted, they're still going to get punished pretty hard if they come in and miss expectations or provide a lower guidance. But I think that, the fact that they're still making money, I think at some point this is going to become an absolute steal. And maybe we're getting close to that. We'll see. We'll find out after these earnings this afternoon. Next, we have Lucid. I've seen a lot of you guys asking about Lucid. Their expected earnings per share are at a loss of 35 cents. And that's not going to be the real story, right? Nobody cares about. Everybody knows they're going to come in for a loss because they don't sell any. They sell a handful of cars. That's it. 36.74 million is the expected revenue. And this is a very interesting on the chart. So, obviously we're going to hear sales numbers and we're going to hear from them as far as guidance is concerned. Are they having any issues with the chip shortage or supply chain issues in general? Are they affected by, things that are going on geopolitically? I'm sure we'll hear from them on that. That being said, the chart actually looks pretty damn good. Now, I'm not a huge proponent of some of these other EV companies, especially ones that report a loss, given the environment that we are in. With rising rates and we have the Fed meeting right around the corner, I'm still a little bit hesitant to be owning anything that reports losses. Lucid's one of them, but the stock looks pretty darn good. If they come in and actually impress on earnings, this will move above the 200-day moving average, which is represented by this pink line here. If you guys can see that, that's the 200-day moving average. If we get above that, the momentum should continue really nicely. We have RSI just hanging right here in the middle. So there's plenty of room, pretty decent risk involved in owning Lucid. I would still say after earnings. The only reason I say that I wouldn't consider buying this before because it's super risky. They come in and miss, it's just going to get crushed. So I think that I would still wait. And even if you get in after this move, maybe the positive move off of earnings, you still have so much upside here. 57.75 was the all-time highs. So, there's plenty of room for this to run. $34 is the 50-day moving average. So I think that even if this has a decent move after earnings, you still have plenty of time to get into Lucid. I don't think that I would be in a rush to just go grab this up if it were me. Lots of people talking about SmileDirect. Yes, SmileDirect has earnings today as well. A really popular penny stock sitting at $2.20 right now, and we'll see what happens here. So SDC is the ticker symbol there. The expected earnings per share are a loss of 27 cents. Revenues at $1.20, $127 million is expected revenue for the quarter. So we'll certainly hear from them on that. The stock market's about to close in about 30 seconds. Let me just cover Luminar real quick. LAZR is another EV related stock, and that has been very volatile as well in recent months. This has been all over the place. we have Blink as well. We'll cover Blink when those earnings get reported, but this is a very interesting one. This has been as high as around $47. It's sitting at $14.05 right now, and the market's officially closed. So we'll move to the 5-minute chart so you guys can take a look there. Their estimated earnings per share is a loss of 11 cents. Revenues at 11.83 million. So this is like super tiny company, right? But we will certainly keep our eye on that. LiDAR technology, as it relates to EVs, is the business that Luminar is in. Let's check back in with you guys. Did Blink move their earnings date? No, I don't think so. I mean, Blink I had pulled up. Their earnings should be today. Looks like there's a little bit of movement here after hours. Stock was up 3% today, but no, Blink's earnings are today as well. Their expected earnings per share is a loss of 39 cents. Revenue is expected to come in at around 5.43 million. So still a very tiny company as well. But that's going to be something that'll certainly, I got the move today because of some companies and countries moving up timelines on renewable energy. And obviously this certainly benefits off of that EVs as well. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that kind of stuff. There's 176 of you guys watching here live. I certainly appreciate you allowing me to be a part of your afternoon. If you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the stream so far, I certainly would appreciate it. Presto says Blink got rescheduled. Okay. Thanks for that. Sometimes I don't get the update from Earnings Whispers as soon as I'd like to, but I appreciate you guys keeping me honest on that. So then Blink did move their earnings date. If that's true, then we'll scrap that one and we'll just watch some of the other ones. Let's take a look at Lucid right now after hours. The stock's really not reactionary so far. It doesn't look like those earnings are out just yet. As soon as, thanks, Daniel O, hitting the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. And we'll take a look at Laser right now. So no movement off of Lucid just yet. Looks like it's down around 1.5%, but not a whole lot of volume there. Nothing on Laser just yet. Okay, so Blink is on March 10th. Appreciate it. Thanks for the info. Groupon is also reporting today. I don't know if you guys, GRPN is ticker symbol there. Stock's down just slightly after hours. So it doesn't look like we have any earnings released just yet. Let me look at SmileDirect real quick. Oh, okay. That one's moving. Stock's up 4%. Let's see if I can find some of those numbers for you. I'll pull those up as soon as they come through. This was a heavily shorted stock as well. I mean, just been absolutely hammered. So they reported a loss of 25 cents. The consensus again was at a loss of 28 cents. So they beat on earnings per share. Looks like they beat on revenue as well. Sales came in at 126 million. No, I'm sorry, they missed. The expectation was 127.71 million, and the actual was 126 million. So they beat on earnings per share. They missed on those revenue numbers, and it looks as if the reaction's a bit mixed here. We saw a huge pop, probably in reaction to just the initial earnings beat, and then companies or investors, they start digging into the earnings report a little bit more, and you can kind of see where things might sell off. I'm not too excited about SmileDirect missing on revenue rather. I'd much rather them miss on earnings per share than revenue, because that shows some signs of slowing of growth. So yeah, and now we can see that the stock has now turned red. So now it's down around 3%. I'm sure that's probably going to come down a little bit more, but yeah, pretty tough stuff. Thanks. Hey, Arfin's back. Bro, I need you now more than ever, my man. It's good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming to hang out. All right. Thanks for the donation. Is that Turkobi? Thanks for the $2 donation. I will give the GRWG analysis towards the end, so just make sure you're sticking around. But I missed you too, my man. All right, so let's take a look at LAZR, Luminar. Stock is down around 1.5%. It looks like 12 cents versus the expected loss. They came in at a loss of 12 cents versus 11 cents. Revenue is at 12.3 million. So they beat on revenue and they missed on earnings per share. Yeah. Okay. All right. Luminar Technologies. Oh, yeah, there we go. And Savvy Money Show had them as well. Thanks for that. But yeah, Arfin's got Luminar Technologies. So there you have it. They missed on earnings per share. They beat on revenue. That's actually better. That's, like I said, I'd rather see them beat on revenue than earnings per share, especially on a growth company like that. But the stock is down around 1.5%. Let's check back in with Lucid. Stock's down 1 1/3, but nothing yet on numbers. One of those numbers up as well. As soon as we get anything on Lucid, I'll certainly have those numbers as well. Zoom, looks like you guys are, oh, damn. Zoom's down another 11%. It's another Kathy Wood bomb. They beat on earnings per share, it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, looking at some preliminary numbers here. But it looks as if maybe the outlook is what is disappointing here. They see 2023 revenue 4.53 to 4.55. Yes, that is lower than expectations. So the guidance here was going to be around 4.75 billion for 2023 fiscal year. They came in 4.53 to 4.55. So they came in below expectations on that. That is very interesting. Here we go. Arfin puts those numbers out there. Thanks for that, man. So it is continuing to get sold off here, Zoom is, but it looks like it's starting to move back up. It was down as low as 11%. Now it's only down around 7 or 8%. So they came in, again, at $1.29. They beat the $1.05 estimate. They came in at 1.07, which is beating the 1.05 estimate. So let's just say that they came in line on revenue, but they crushed earnings per share. I mean, absolutely smashed. But yeah, the outlook was below expectations. Thanks for that. There you go. That's the outlook on Zoom. Tough stuff there for Zoom. Still waiting on a couple other earnings such as Lucid. And it looks like those numbers may have just come out. The stock is now down 6% after hours. I can cover those Novavax earnings as well, LG for sure. Yeah, if there's ones that we're not covering, these are ones that I've just personally highlighted based off of, search popularity and that sort of thing. But if there's ones you guys want me to take a look at, I certainly can. But Lucid is getting hammered right now after hours. It's down. It's trying to fight its way back. It's now down 5% after hours. As soon as I get those numbers, I'll certainly share them with you as well. Okay. Lucid numbers are coming, but the stock is continuing to sell off now. It's down around 7%. Yikes. This is what I was talking about. I don't know what the numbers are just yet, but when you have a company that doesn't report profit and then they miss expectations, it's just kind of like a double whammy right now. See a lot of you guys talking about Workday. As soon as I get those Lucid numbers, I'll share those with you guys. But Workday, this has actually been one that they've crushed it. Literally since the beginning of the pandemic, they've done extremely well. The company itself has. So, you can see that's corrected from $300 and sitting at $229. It's corrected like everything else. This correction started after Black Friday. And so, earnings come in and they crushed it. Looks like they came in at 78 cents. They beat their 71-cent estimate. They came in at 1.38 billion, 1.36 estimate. I'd imagine the outlook is probably quite good here as well, which is why we're seeing the stock move up. It's up now 7% after hours. Look at that boner candle. Woo! There you go. There you have it. That is Workday. What a move on that thing. Closed the day at 229. It's now sitting at 245. My goodness. If you guys don't know what Workday does, they're a solutions company, with payroll, scheduling, all kinds of stuff. So really great company, and they certainly benefited from a stay-at-home or work-from-home environment, hands down. When I worked at T. Rowe Price, we used Workday, and that's a huge corporation. We used Workday, so pretty good stuff there. Still waiting on the Lucid numbers. I'll try and find those as fast as I can for you. But that stock is still down around 8% here after hours. It's really struggling. I imagine that they probably missed on earnings, that maybe the guidance isn't good. We've talked about this. All right, so revenue for Lucid came in 26.4 million versus the 3.6 million expected. That's a massive beat on revenue. Earnings per share, 64 cents versus 11. This can't be right. Is this right? Somebody check me. So Market Rebellion is reporting revenue was at 26.4 million, sorry, with an M, versus 3.6 expected. They came in a loss of 64 cents versus a loss of 11.11. That can't be right. That can't be right. Regardless, the stock is selling off. I'd imagine that there's something else in the outlook that's creating the sell-off here. Christopher Grow, great question. I'm not live all day during market hours. I'm only live from 3:45 until whenever, until I decide that we're done. So we got earnings to cover. Then I'm just going to continue to cover them, or we can talk about whatever. But yeah, 3:45. So just before the stock market closes, we can cover a lot of things that are going on in the market in general. If there's earnings, obviously we're going to react to those. Plus whatever else is going on in the market that day. But Monday through Thursday, I'm live 3:45 till whenever, 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Sundays, I'm live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time to kind of go over the week ahead. It's called Stock Watch Sunday. It's kind of my flagship show. So if you guys are not subscribed already, I would encourage you to do that, because I'm here all of the time, baby. And I'll throw out content that's pre-recorded as well all throughout the week too, things that I think are important to talk about. So make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button if you're not already. Here we go. Massive Lucid guide down 12,000 to 14,000 vehicles versus the 20K last quarter. The real issue is that they had $1.75 billion convert out into offering on December 10th. They knew they had the guide down. Yeah, because of dilution. Dilution's it's going to kill this thing. Dilution's going to kill it every time. Mr. says YouTube never suggests your videos. Hey, well, the only way that's going to happen is if you guys keep watching, you keep liking the streams and all of that. So we'll get YouTube the YouTube gods to shine down on this channel eventually. All right, so Zoom looks like some of you guys are mentioning that Zoom's turning around. Maybe it's still down 8%. I mean, it's still getting hammered here. Yeah, it's not down as much as it was. It hit as low as $112, now sitting at 122. So I guess it's not as bad. But Zoom's guidance was actually lower than expectations, and that's why it was down. So they actually beat on earnings per share, and they beat on revenue as well. The company gave lower than expected guidance, which is why it sold off initially. Here we go. Arfin just reported that they have $1 billion buyback. Yeah, I don't know, man. The guidance does look bad. The guidance was much lower than expectations. I mean, it didn't even try to meet expectations. It came in pretty low. The buyback is a temporary catalyst. I don't think that it holds the stock up much. And I mean, really, when you think about it, $1 billion isn't really a much. We look at the market cap right now is at 39 billion. I don't think that $1 billion worth is gonna hold up Zoom all that much. I would be surprised if it did. Let's put it that way. Stock's still down around 8-9%. All right. So yeah, Lucid orders exceed 25K, but they came in. So if you guys are just tuning in, Lucid came in and looks like they beat on. I still haven't been able to confirm, Market Rebellion was giving me some crazy ass numbers. So I don't know. Let me just reconfirm Lucid's numbers, but it looks like the guidance was down for Lucid, and that's kind of really what killed them. Right now, the stock is down about 8% after hours. They only delivered, oh wow, cut 20K into 2022 to 12 to 14K. Yeah, so that's the general consensus there on actual deliveries. So they did come in at a loss of 64 cents. Revenue was at 26.39 million. Yeah. Okay. So those are the actual numbers. So they came in and actually beat the expectations, but the guidance is what's really kind of crushing this thing right now. And to be honest with you, with those types of numbers, guys, from Lucid, and then the guide lower, at this point, why do you even want Lucid? You know what I'm saying? Like, Ford is going to crush Lucid. GM's going to crush Lucid. And then you have the big giant elephant in the room that's going to smother everything else, which is Tesla, right? Like, so you have the legacy companies that are selling more than Lucid. And then you have Tesla that is obviously selling more than anybody else when it comes to EVs. So to me, like, and this is what I was saying earlier, I would wait till after earnings came out to make a buying decision on this, because this is really tough for them to come in and project 20,000 vehicles sold, and then they have to revise that down to 12 to 14,000. That is quite an adjustment. I mean, we're talking about nearly half of the expectation gets cut. So that's really tough. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want any parts of Lucid, any parts of it at all. Sorry for you Meet Kevin fans. I mean, why? You know, unless somehow they get bought out by somebody, and maybe that's the case. Because what are we looking at? Market cap's at 47 billion. It's still very expensive. Nobody's buying them out yet. Lucid probably have to come down to $10 a share in order for that to take place. But at this point, I mean, yeah, of course, the technology is great. The range is amazing. The power is certainly there. But if they're not making sales and they're continuing to lose money, I mean, unless they somehow continue to get funding, but if you don't have the growth there and everybody else around you is growing, especially in this EV space, as competitive as it's becoming, like, why do I want Lucid over Ford? Why do I want Lucid over Tesla? Why do I want Lucid over GM, Volkswagen, Porsche, any of them? Why do I want Lucid over any of them? If everybody else is growing and Lucid is not, you know what I'm saying? So, and feel free to shoot this down, right? Give me a reason why I should own a $47 billion company that can't sell cars, can't produce cars, when there's far cheaper options out there, and companies that are growing. I mean, Ford, let's just take a look at Ford's chart. You guys know that this is one that I had, said that I thought that Ford stock could outperform Tesla stock for a second year in a row in 2022. It did last year. Stock is trading at market cap of 70 billion. So not even twice. So we're talking Lucid's at nearly 50 billion, right? Ford, legacy company Ford, is trading at 70 billion. Ford PE of Ford is 8.5 times. 8.5 times next year's earnings. That is ridiculous. It is so stupid cheap. Even looking at something like a GM, which, you know, their EVs are really starting to kick off as well. That's trading at around 6.5 times next year's earning. That market cap is only what, 20 billion more? 20 billion more than Lucid's, and Lucid hardly makes any cars. So you see what I'm saying? To me, I'd rather own a vehicle company, and obviously Tesla speaks for itself. So I'm not even going to talk about that, because at this point, you know, I'd rather own Tesla if I'm playing the EV game, Tesla or Ford, one of those two, than any of them. But that's what I'm getting at. Rivian, look out below, says Jeff Ponica. Yeah, is Rivian responding to this? Let's see, Rivian. Yeah, it is responding. It's now down 2.5%. Take a look at the 5-minute there. Yep, it's reacting to those Lucid numbers. That's tough. That is tough stuff. Yeah, Lucid is now continuing to tumble here. It's down 12% after hours. Yikes. Yeah, Arfin makes up a good point. GM, Ford, and Tesla any day over Rivian, Lucid, Neo even. Yeah, and all the other million EVs out there. Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's just too crowded. I'm more inclined to try to speculate as to who's buying Lucid or Rivian or any of these other ones. So again, let me just be clear. I have said multiple times that Tesla's the big dog in this game. He says, John says GM and Ford are not in the same group as Tesla. Please don't insult Tesla. Correct. But there's going to be a second place, right? Ford and GM are not going away. They're just not happening. So I'd still rather own those over Lucid. So let me be clear. Tesla is the big dog on campus. And if you want to own EVs, stop trying to find the next Tesla and just buy yourself some Tesla. But if you're looking to take advantage of something that's on the cheap, that's also in the space, Ford and GM are cheap that are also in the space, the EV space. So don't get it twisted. Okay. So we covered a lot of things, guys. We covered Zoom. Let's check back in with Zoom. Stock's down 8.5%. It was down as much as around 12%, hit $112. They came in and beat expectations on revenue and earnings per share, but they came in and guided way low. And they did come in with a $1 billion buyback of shares. So that's why we're seeing a little bit of a pop in response to that. But to me, I still think that this is probably something that I'd be very concerned about. The guidance was really low. I don't know if I'd be in Zoom right now, just given the way the guidance is. You can maybe play the trade. You know, there may be some people that get excited about the buyback. And who knows? Maybe there's something in the conference call that paints a brighter picture for something like Zoom. But right now, just given the guidance that they put out, I think I would be very nervous about holding on to Zoom. But I do owe, who was it that donated a while back? I told him that I would cover it. Let me see. GRWG is Turkobi. Maybe I'm gonna call him Turkobi. Can you analyze GRWG? Let's take a look at GRWG. Stock's down around 2.75%. Let's take a look. See what else we can find. But I don't know if I'm actually excited about this, obviously. Yeah, there's nothing I like about this. Nothing but a huge ass downtrend. Nope. 67.75. This was down. Holy shit balls. Here's the crazy part. Okay. Next, it's 44 times next year's earnings and still trading at $8. I don't know, man. There's a lot of better weed stocks that I would like. I would go after Canopy Growth. Go after Canopy Growth. TR Kobe. I got you. All right. TR Kobe from now on. But I'd rather go with a Canopy Growth, a CGC. I think cannabis certainly makes a little bit of a comeback. I think that's possible, but I'd rather go with a company that has the backing of something like a brand company like CGC has. So Constellation Brands is the backing. It has the backing of CGC. So that's why I would say hang around CGC. But I think some of the other smaller ones that have nothing but dilution, and I think that I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that one. Same thing with Aurora Cannabis. Some of the other ones, Tilray, they all dilute like crazy. And obviously, Canopy Growth has not had a great chart since its highs either. The industry itself has been hammered. But I think if I was going to go after a weed stock, this would be the one. $3D, did Triple D have earnings? Oh, yeah, look at this. Stock's up. I must have missed this one on the list. Stock's up right now 17%. Let's take a look at that. Let me see if I can pull up the numbers there. This is a Kathy Wood one as well. Kathy Wood still owns this one, right? Somebody confirm that for me. I'm pretty sure. So they beat earnings per share by 5 cents. They offered guidance. It looks like we got some good stuff here from 3D Systems. They came in at their guidance was 570 to 630 million versus the 573 estimate. So they came in above estimates on revenue. Looks like they came in and beat on revenue for the last quarter as well as earnings per share. Let me just confirm that up. 9 cents per share is the estimate. So it looks like the expectation was, or no, 9 cents per share is the actual. The estimate was around 4 cents per share. So yeah, pretty decent beat there. 150 million revenue versus 143 expected. And you can see the stock is now up 15%. What a move on that. That's one of the big winners of the day. All right. Oh yeah, there we go. Thanks, Arfin. Those are the numbers there for 3D Systems. Guys, hit the like button if you're liking the stream so far. I certainly would appreciate it. Arfin, yeah. So if anybody's not privy to the information just yet, Fatman Zoom is not here because he has a brain tumor and was given 12 to 18 months to live. I wish I were joking. I'm not. So really tough stuff, but he is got an amazing outlook on this, and we're doing it up. We got so much going on. Go back and watch some of the other stuff. Arfin, hit me up in Discord if you want to, which, by the way, if you guys are not in the Discord, hit up the Discord. If you want to be a part of it, go to the join button next to subscribe and become part of the Chaos Crew. I put out a list of 5 stocks every single day for you guys to take a look at and maybe find some direction in the market. We also have our Discord group. I have a private live stream as well, and I reveal my portfolio. Doing pretty well with that, all things considered. So if you guys want to take a look at that, hit the join button next to subscribe. Help support the channel. Yeah, guys. So yeah, I appreciate the kind words. But yeah, it is that's what's going on with Fatman Zoom. But listen, he was just in here this afternoon. We've been holding some private recordings on just his journey so far throughout all of this. So yeah, if you guys are new, Fatman Zoom, aka Christian, was a co-host to the show here. So for the last month or so, it's just been me because he's been going through it, brain surgery, treatment, radiation. He's going to start chemo in a couple weeks. So there's a lot of moving parts. So it's just been the one-man band here, but he's going to actually make some attempts to come back on a part-time basis because he wants some sort of sense of normalcy, right? I mean, who wouldn't? So he's going to come back on a part-time basis, hopefully this week, maybe next week. And yeah, the outlook and just the positive energy throughout this whole entire ordeal has been amazing. So I don't want to harp on it too much because I've talked about it at length at this point, but that's the situation. All right, guys. So tomorrow we have a lot of stuff happening as well. We still have earnings to react on. It's going to be a big week. I mean, I'm super excited about the market in general. Obviously, there's so much to really be concerned about as far as things that are going on geopolitically, and that's fine. We can continue to have that conversation, but we have big earnings. We have Target tomorrow, OpenSea, Baidu, Domino's. That's going to be a big one. Kohl's, those are all pre-market tomorrow morning, so I'll certainly be giving my reaction to those. And then also after hours, when I'm live, we'll be reacting live to SoFi's earnings, which will be very exciting. AMC, Plug Power, Salesforce, Wish, Nordstrom, all kinds of big names reporting tomorrow that I'll be giving my live reactions to, and I'll give you some outlooks as far as that's concerned just before the close. So thanks so much, guys, for sticking around and being a part of the stream. If you're not subscribed already, please consider doing that as well. Hit the like button if you guys haven't done that on your way out the door, and that's going to do it for me, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.